Hey, all, Baruch Levi, be here from the Defiant Spirit. Thanks for tuning in. I want to talk to you today about Enneagram number 6. I call it the Loyalist, sometimes called the Loyal Skeptic, the Devil's Advocate, um, the Servant, the Skeptic. I don't know. There's lots of different names. Doesn't matter what you call it. It's the same energy in every system. Enneagram 6 is probably the most well-represented type in the population by definition, because they are natural followers. It doesn't mean they can't lead. It doesn't mean that they don't have, sort of a strong voice. They can, but by nature, they want to participate and to belong. And like the name suggests, they are the most loyal type. So it would make sense, right? You have to have many devoted, loyal people in your life, in a community, in an organization, in a family, who are happy to participate, to do what it needs to be done to belong. So this is really a defining aspect of a 6. You know you're a 6 partially when you just have this deep need to belong, to participate in the community. But more than that, I would say the defining factor for a 6 is safety, security. Now, this can go in two ways. It can go in what's called the phobic 6, which is more of an anxiety. All human beings are anxious. Don't mishear the 6s, but you know who you are. When anxiety is palpable, when it's always either just under the surface or at the surface, because you have a lot of concern about physical safety, people around you and their safety. When somebody needs a Band-Aid and they go to you, you could be on a hiking trail, but probably if you're a 6, you have a first aid kit. You have thought about, these types of things ahead of time. 6s question. They're constantly poking holes, oftentimes in a great way, to challenge the assumptions, to look at things from a different angle, because they are sort of have this underlying anxiety that causes them to look for the things that most of us, certainly as an 8, I just don't pay attention to. 6s walk into a room and they know where the exits are. They know the capacity for this particular environment from a fire safety code. They know the thermostat and, are they comfortable or not? Now, this could be a subtype on all types called self-preservation, but by and large, this is a 6th thing. Now, they can go the other way. That's called a phobic 6. It doesn't mean you live with phobia. It just means you're much closer to your anxiety and you're aware of it than your other brother, sister 6, the counterphobic. Now, they're the ones not quite as represented in the 6s. I would say most 6s are a phobic, anxious type. Counterphobic are still anxious. They're still afraid, but they go against it, looking like a tough guy, a tough gal. So you think of like the Mike Tysons, total counterphobic 6. When you listen to him, you hear a lot of fear and anxiety, but he spent his life charging into his fears, going into the fire. Eminem, Marky Mark Wahlberg, these are all counterphobic 6s that still have a lot of fear, but they come across as a fighter. Whereas the phobic 6 doesn't tend to come across as a fighter. They come across as warm, endearing, loving. They can be a little neurotic. You look at your Jason Alexander's, your Larry David's, your Adam Sandler's, Jennifer Aniston, Dustin Hoffman, Chris Rock. These are all phobic 6s. I don't want, again, you to walk away thinking phobic 6s are cowards. In fact, they can be the most courageous type, because the true definition of courage is to feel the fear and do it anyways. And when I'm working with a phobic 6, they can become the most courageous types by doing what they fear, overcoming their fears, or if not overcoming them, then not allowing those fears to stop them in their tracks. So 6s, you just have a palpable anxiety or fear. Again, it can come across as questions. I know when I'm dealing with a 6 ahead of time, because I'll get 1 question, 5 questions, 10 questions, same question, maybe in a different order, different wording, different sort of take on the same problem. They just need to hear it over and over again. And I know what they're doing. They're probing for consistency. They want to hear that the person they're talking to is consistent, because inconsistency is a red flag that they're not dealing with somebody in their integrity. Sixes want to be around, need to be around people that they trust, that have integrity, that are honest, that are going to do what they say. Because again, sixes are loyal. You're the most loyal type. When you have a friend who's a six, you have a friend for life. Sixes fear being betrayed, being abandoned. And so that questioning is a process of discerning whether this person is worthy of my six devotion, admiration, and love. Sixes, again, once they give you their trust, it's yours until you lose it. So if you're with a six, do not betray a six. You probably will never get them back. Eights, like myself, are hard to get back once you've betrayed. Sixes, nearly impossible. Sixes are the most dutiful, loyal, devoted type. They're warm, they're kind, they're all about belonging, about community, inclusivity. I can't say enough good things about sixes. So if that strikes you as your type or somebody you love, then quite probably or possibly you are an Enneagram 6. If you want to learn more about Enneagram 6, jump over to defiantspirit.org, where you can learn more about 6 and all 9 types. Go to the podcast page where you'll find all of my videos, and stay tuned because I have a new program called Discover Your Number, which is a great way to learn about your type and all of the types. And remember, all these numbers are in you. So even if you're not a 6, it might be a part of your what's called tri-type, the way you think, feel, and act, or maybe it's just high up in your in the way you rank these numbers. If you do an assessment with me, a test with me, I will give you all 9 types back, so you see where they fall in your placement. But they're all in you. However, you know you're a 6 when any of those things that I talked about really rings most true. Until the next time, defy your number, live your spirit, and I'll see you soon.